Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about more of the justice system and how it has failed our civilization too many times. So, for the first story of today, we are going to be talking about a victim named Logan Federico, a 22-year-old girl who was killed by a 30-year-old black man from the Columbia area who has had a long history with burglaries and thefts, has had 39 arrests and 25 felony charges, averaging 2.65 crimes per year since he was at the age of 15 years old. 2014, he had multiple second and third degree burglaries. Man, I really cannot pronounce today.
Yeah, you sound kind of retarded.
Yeah, I know. Burglaries, grand larceny, pleaded guilty to second degree nonviolent burglary. In 2023, he pleaded guilty to third degree burglary, sentenced to 1,825 days in prison, but only served 410 days before early release by Judge Bentley Price in late 2024 or early 2025. Okay, so despite his record that he has spent just about 600 days incarcerated over the past 10 years, like, keep in mind, arrested 39 times and 25 felony charges. How is this even allowed?
Yeah. I guess they just keep letting him off over and over again.
Yeah. And unfortunately, because of that, he was able to do what he did recently. I say like in the middle of the year. So what happened with the latest incident is the girl Logan was hanging out with friends, and then I don't know if it was her home or like an Airbnb or whatever, but she goes to a home and is sleeping, and then the suspect, Alexander, does another burglary on the neighbor's house next to hers, and then goes into the house that she's staying at, shoots her, drags her out of bed as she's pleading for her life, and then shoots her again.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much the gist of the whole story here.
Bro, no monkey.
Why not?
Okay, maybe just once. Bro.
So yes, that's what that's pretty much how I feel about that guy for sure. And now, because of this incident, the father of the girl pretty much went out and pretty much said what everyone else is thinking, and how we can't be super soft on criminals like this. Like, it's just absolutely unacceptable to be released 39 to have 39 arrests, 25 felony charges, only serve less than 25% of your jail time. And this is exactly why this man keeps getting out. So my criticism, honestly, doesn't really have much to do with like law enforcement, like police officers. My criticism obviously goes to judges at the end of the day on that. Okay. So he So Bentley Price was a judge that imposed a 5-year suspended sentence, but only credited 410 days served. We just got over that not too long ago. Shoot, there's like not much in terms of other judges. So, for everyone at home, look up Bentley Price, and well, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do that myself. And yeah, as I'm waiting for that information to come back, this is just unacceptable, man, and it is really sad how there are some people on all sides of the spectrum, like because a huge narrative is that only like super rich and powerful people are above the law. Now in the Diddy case, which we're gonna get to later, that is the case, but for this time, in the Logan Federico case, Judge Bentley D. Price is South Carolina. Wait, South Carolina? Like, it wasn't the Irania Zaruska a South Carolina killing as well?
Yeah, I think it was.
No way.
Here, let me look it up. Let me fact check.
Yeah, go ahead and fact check that for sure. Dude, if that is the case, that is actually
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, man. You know what? Let me Google him. No, not. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ah.
Yeah, it's crazy that they keep letting him out over and over again when he has 40 charges before, and
Yeah.
they're already related to burglary and like Grand Theft Auto,
Mm-hmm.
and like he does it again on the day that he kills her too, because he steals a car and then he does some meth and then he robs 2 homes, then he goes to the third home where she's in, and then he just shoots her, and then he robs her, and then he goes on a spending spree. And and then in his mugshot, he doesn't even like he just still looks high, I guess. He probably doesn't even really care what he did a whole lot.
They all do every single time. It's time to stop. All right. So, that's pretty much all the info that we got on this case. I want to scroll back up and get to. So, you know how there was the whole Irina's law thing that was gonna happen?
Yeah. Yes.
So is apparently a Logan's Law proposal now. So some of the key points for this is mandatory state criminal history checks, prohibition on treating reoffenders as first-time offenders, accountability for the prosecutors and judges. That's a big one. It's definitely good that they've had that. And then a federal oversight and victim rights enhancements, and then stricter gun and bail policy. Yeah, I say that's a pretty good one for sure. Now, I think when it comes to bail policies, I think we've mentioned a few times on how other judges do what's called a cashless bail on a lot of these criminals, and that's how they're able to get away. Now, the thing about gun laws is that there's actually already a lot of super strict laws when it comes to guns and stuff. When you purchase, when you try to purchase legally, so they have, like, if you're on certain medications, you can't have guns. If you're dishonorably discharged from the military, you can't own a gun. If you're a felon, you can't own a gun. So I would like to think that this man was already banned from just walking into a gun store and buying a gun. And my only theory as to why that person had a gun in the first place to do what he just did recently is because, you know, if bad guys want to get guns, they can just get them illegally. Just same thing with drugs and stuff. If the guy knew how to get meth, then he for sure knew how to get a gun.
Yeah.
So that's the first story we're going to be going over in a murder case. Now we're going to move on to the second one. Now this one I have pulled up. Okay, so on December 6th of 2015, a black man broke into a Kentucky home and stabbed a 6-year-old boy to death.
What was the name of that case?
Yeah, go ahead and look it up. But I'll go ahead and just keep.
Yeah, but what was the name of it? Like, what's the kid's name?
It does.
Or
It
the
doesn't
guy's name?
say on the okay. It okay. The kid's name is Logan Tipton. That was the kid that was murdered. I'll probably edit a picture of those two, kind of like how I did with the last couple of people that we talked about in the last episode, just so that people don't get confused, since we're talking about quite a few names here today. But yes, the perpetrator's name, the murderer's name, excuse me, Ronald Exantus.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sounds like Ron DeSantis a little bit.
A little, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. But yes, he did indeed break into a home and stab 6-year-old kid Logan Tipton. So then he goes to jail and only served half of his sentence. It's not... Okay, so it says that he was sentenced for 20 years in 2018 and then was released on good behavior.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, he was in jail for 7 years. But, yeah, he probably shouldn't have been released. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. So anyway, then a news outlet actually, after he gets released, a news outlet source goes to the home of the father of the kid who was killed, and he, why doesn't it say the guy's name? That's ridiculous. Anyways, so the father is pretty much sounding off on this whole thing, pretty much saying the similar things that you and I are saying. And he pretty much puts it out there that if he ever sees that man, that he's just going to kill him on sight.
Yeah, I read that.
I don't know, remember 100%, but isn't that what he did? Or
I don't know.
Maybe he didn't. Hey guys, just a quick interruption from the conversation that was just going forward. I just wanted to check back in and give you guys a little bit of a fact check on what Mike and I were talking about. So the father's name of Logan Tipton is Dean Tipton, and the father of the 6-year-old boy who was stabbed in 2015. And I know Mike and I just earlier were speculating on whether or not he actually went out of his way to kill the man that killed his son, because he did issue a statement saying that that's what he would want to do, which is understandable. You know, I just can't imagine just the pure rage that father is feeling right now. But just to clarify for everyone listening, no, he did not actually kill him. That was just that was a wrong on my part to assume that. But no, he didn't kill him. All right, enjoy the rest of the show. Yeah, it's actually ridiculous how soft the law is on certain people. So that's the second case that we've gone over. I have the same sentiment about, the last two, as much as this current murderer as I do with the last one and with the one before that one as well. So I guess I'll make one final point on this case. At least this is all I really have to say to it. So clearly we need to be a lot more self-reliant on defending ourselves against these kind of people. So if there's anything I can really do to give good suggestions, the only piece of advice I would like to give to everyone is to do this. Is to go online and search up your local area and look up the sexual predator registry along with the violence registry, and look at your local areas so that you guys are being informed on everything's going on around your community. Because as good as it is, at least here in Montana, most Montana people are gun owners. But ideally, we would like to avoid being in a situation to where we would need to defend ourselves. And the way we do that is knowledge. So obtain as much knowledge as you can about your local area, about all the areas you want to stay away from. Like, hey, this area is looking shady. I don't think we should find any rentals over here. This area has a few sex offenders or violent offenders. Let's take a different route. And, if, in my opinion, I think it'd be also good to conceal carry as well everywhere you go at this point, just because anything could happen at random. So yeah, that's pretty much the advice I have. Just look up, go online, they have all kinds of registries for these sort of people. Not to go up and, kill them first or anything, obviously not, but just for the sake of staying informed and keeping yourself out of dangerous situations. Okay, so now we're not necessarily switching topics. We're still talking about criminals right now. Today we are going to be let me say that again. We are also going to be talking about the P. Diddy case, and I'm going to just let Charles take it over from here, so just stay tuned.
50 months for the diddler. We got to start, looking into the judge here for a second to see if he got invited to the next freak-off when he's, let loose. Because, how is this even possible? I had been keeping up with the case. I had already given you the update about the things that they found him not guilty on, which was absolutely stunning in the first place. But it's just insanity. It's absolute insanity. Everybody knows he's guilty. There are decades of evidence, mountains of evidence about all of his crimes. A vile, evil worm. And he gets 50 months. This is just clear, irrefutable proof unfolding in front of your eyes that some people genuinely are above the law. Like, actually, it's not like conspiratorial. It is just the facts of it. It's crazy. Your Honor, did you stop to consider for a moment that my client has an unbelievable amount of money? Okay, just take that into consideration. I'm not gonna bother going into like the particulars here about where apparently P. Diddy was so broken about, the 4 years he has to spend in prison, or the strong face the judge put on there for a second while shaking his finger, waggling his little digit here about, justice and all the sick shit that Diddy did. Because it's all just fucking performative. It's not real. Because at the end of the day, justice wasn't really served. 4 years in jail for the diddler, the fucking baby oil behemoth, that's unhinged. That's just so twisted. But that's the times we're living in. Like, it is crazy the times we're living in. I also just saw today fucking Benjamin.
Okay, so once again, I don't think I could have sent it any better than Charlie just did. 50 years, 4 years for the diddler.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's really evident that it's pretty obvious what he did was wrong, right? I mean, there's so many cases where like just evidence comes out and you can see that, I don't know, it's irrefutable that what he did is true, and then they let him off on 2 of the charges, like he wasn't trafficking and he wasn't doing this, and then they only give him 4 years. I feel like he should have a lot more than that. Even the stuff that they did get him on, like, it should not be that low, where he had like ex-girlfriends and he was like, they didn't really want anything to do with him, but he was kind of forcing them to come over to the freak offs. Like, that should be more than 4 years as well, even what they did get him on. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like he said, he's pretty much the Jeffrey Epstein of the rap community now.
Yeah.
And so this is a huge W for Charlie, 100%. And not only has he been super vocal about how ridiculous it is with the diddler getting off, but he's also been doing a fairly good job as well, talking about the Epstein files and how they, the government literally rickrolled us when we thought they were releasing the Epstein files. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they're like, we're going to release it, and then everyone in the House voted against it because it's probably half of them are in it.
Oh yeah, dude. Half of Congress is 100% in the Epstein files, 100%.
Yeah.
I do believe that there is like I don't know if it's like a partial list. I'll put it up on screen right now when I edit this, but there is already a list of a bunch of people that have already had experience with Jeffrey Epstein and riding in his private jets and stuff. Even like Donald Trump, like it's been confirmed that Donald Trump has taken multiple trips on Jeffrey Epstein's private jets. So, and my whole sentiment is anyone who goes out of their way to defend not releasing the Jeffrey Epstein files, in my opinion, are in those files.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I do believe that Donald Trump is in those files. Now, for what? I don't know. Hey guys, this is me again, interrupting our normal program. I just wanted to go ahead and shed some light on what I was talking about. So you just heard me say a few seconds ago that I believe that anyone who talks about who is in favor of not releasing those Epstein files are very likely in those Epstein files themselves. I still stand by that 100%, and I wanted to play this little clip right here. I'll go ahead and put it on screen and just and provide more context after I let this slide.
On this vote, the yeas are 211, the nays are 210. The previous question is ordered. The question is on adoption of the resolution. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no.
Okay, so there it is. For those wondering what that is about, so in the House of Representatives, there was a bill that went out, And the whole subject was not too, like, the voting wasn't about releasing the Epstein files. It was about having a debate about those Epstein files, to which I can assume that means having a debate on whether or not to release them. And I'll go ahead and scroll back a few seconds. So the people, so 211 to 210, it was pretty much a nay. Excuse me. It was pretty much a no, and for this bill to have the debate, which means they're using my theory as to people who defend not releasing the Epstein files. That then makes another 211 people in the House of Representatives that, in my opinion, are in the Epstein files. So there you go, folks. That's where your taxes go to, and it's just very sad that this many people who just sit on their ass and take our taxes are defending some of the most heinous people and the most heinous crimes you could ever think of. All right. Thank you, guys. Back to the podcast. Because I do think that there are some people who were actually doing some super nefarious stuff, and then there are others that maybe there are, like, and this is me thinking on good faith. This is me trying to think the most positively as possible and doing all these mental gymnastics doing this. Maybe there are some, like, genuine good people who are in those files who got caught up on something and had no idea what they have gotten themselves into, and because of that, they now have blackmail on them. But we don't know that for sure. So the best I can really say is just anyone who is on those Epstein files. Anyone who defends not releasing the Epstein files are on those files. Even Ted Cruz. I think we can. I don't know if we talked about it right here. Yeah, so there was a clip going around of Ted Cruz talking about how we shouldn't be harsh on pedophiles or something like that.
That's crazy.
And yeah, and he never bothered to correct himself. By the way, I do believe this is the clip right here. I'm gonna play Charlie again.
How about no, Goober? Like, come on. This should be an outrage to everybody, but it's not. It's just not. And that's just the signs of the times that we're in. Like, I made a video the other day about Ted Cruz with his slip up where he said to stop attacking pedophiles.
Senator Booker also said we should have bipartisan agreement. I think that's a great idea. We should have bipartisan agreement. How about we all come together and say, let's stop murders? How about we all come together and say, let's stop rape? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
Did you get that?
Yeah, it kind of depends on, like, he could say maybe. I'm just trying to figure out a way that I could defend him, even though, I mean, obviously, I think that he did say it, but the only way that he can get out of it is if, when he said stop attacking pedophiles, is if he meant that the pedophiles themselves were attacking people. So if he said stop, and then, like, attacking pedophiles would be, like, the title of the pedophile. Well, that's the only way that he can get away with that.
Let me keep playing this, and let's see if he corrects himself.
I want you to look at what happened when the National Guard went to D.C.
Quite the Freudian.
Okay, so no, he didn't even bother to correct himself there. You know, that this guy says, like, two things that we obviously agree on. I think we should stop the murders. I agree. Yep. We should stop. I think we should stop the rapes. Me too. Yep. We should stop attacking pedophiles. What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that a package deal?
I don't think that he meant to say that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ted Cruz was also on, like, the Epstein list. So,
well, I also find it very suspicious of him as well. He said this when he went on Tucker Carlson's podcast not too long ago, that the reason he got into politics like over a decade ago was to show allegiance to them boys.
So is Ted Cruz
Every single
Jewish?
time. Possibly, yeah. Let me go into Wikipedia and look up. You go ahead and say whatever you want about that. I'm gonna look up Ted Cruz over here. Ted.
I don't think that he is Jewish, but he might be.
Where is he? Where is he? Nope, he's like part Italian.
Oh, that's boring. Ooh, play the Ted Cruz's voice thing.
Madam President, I rise today to recognize the 156th anniversary of
Madam
Juneteenth.
President.
What the heck?
What a
This
stupid
is
quote.
this is what we're talking about. This is his thing. This should tell you everything you need to know about Wikipedia. Out of all the things that it plays for Ted Cruz, it's the whole Juneteenth thing.
That's why he's not president.
Do you remember just like being at work and you find out that Juneteenth is a thing and that you're getting the day off work and you're kind of like,
Yeah. It's like confusing because it's
Okay.
like, what is that? And then you look it up and it's like, well, that's, I mean, I guess it's a holiday, but it's just kind of silly.
if that's a holiday, then we should have a holiday. I feel like 9/11 should be a holiday. Should it not?
I mean, I guess maybe.
And I think they're trying to do a thing where there's where they make Charlie Kirk's birthday a holiday as well. Like make that a holiday as well. If you're gonna make, Juneteenth a holiday and all that.
Well, I mean, I'd rather have JFK's birthday be a holiday than Charlie Kirk's. I don't know if he was. I mean, he was important, but I don't know if he
Dude,
was
let's
like
do
super
it.
important.
Let's get some more holidays. Let's get some more days off work. Let's go.
Yeah, can't have too many holidays though.
Okay.
Anyway,
And then, let's see. There was one more thing that Charles brought up here about Yahoo. And now the podcast episode isn't about him, but it's good to see a big YouTuber with almost 20 million subscribers finally call out people in this caliber.
Consider for a moment that my client hasn't just suspended in prison. Wasn't really served. Foil behemoth. That's unhinged. That's just so twisted. But that's the times we're living in.
Okay.
Like, it is crazy the times we're living in. I also just saw today fucking Benjamin Netanyahu just openly stating in front of the whole world his plans on brainwashing because so many people are turning on Israel. So he was asked like what he plans to do about it. And you know what? Since I'm just yapping, I'm just gonna go ahead and go on this topic now too.
I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel? What's our backup plan to be strong, like outside the diaspora?
Christian influencers. Okay. You said, you talked about the woke right. And you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke Reich, because these people, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're movies.
Yeah, that's his strategy. A galaxy brain chess maneuver here. Call everyone that doesn't support Israel Nazis. Whoa! Holy shit! This he's alting right now. Wow! So basically, if you're not like eating out of this guy's gooch and supporting Israel on everything, you're a Nazi.
To secure that part of the base of our support in the United States, that is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers.
Just in case you forgot, Israel literally pays influencers to suck their wiener and just be like these loyal little lapdogs to always just lap up whatever Netanyahu's gooch is sweating out. Like, it's unbelievable. And he's just being like super open about it. Like, he is just saying that in front of people's faces. and nobody seems to care.
And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. X. That's very good. And, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now.
Spoiler warning for those without thinking caps on. Censorship. He's talking about censorship. Damn to free speech. Benjamin Netanyahu's got other ideas. It's something he's talked about plenty in the past. He's not exactly shy with it. He's very loosey-goosey with the censorship topic, and he's talking about it again. He recognizes how everyone sharing videos and information about the atrocities and all the slaughter of the Palestinians at the hands of the IDF is making people turn on Israel. So now genocidal freak is going up to Elon Musk. Oh, Mr. Musk, can we do something about all these pesky voices sharing all of this? It's censorship. Super weird, by the way, how a foreign nation seems to have so much pull over things happening in our homeland. Why can...
Okay, now he's going in. Now he's going in. Dang, I did not get this far in the video. He's actually going off right now.
Yahoo come out with his full ass on display, talking about how algorithms on the platforms here need to cater to him. And also, he should be talking to Elon about Twitter so they can do something together in regards to, the people not liking Israel anymore and what they're having access to. Why is that? That shouldn't be allowed, right? What the fuck? This guy gets to come in and, completely wash our fucking freedom of speech in order to fit his censorship agenda? Cool. How about no? Goober, come on. This
Yeah. He kind of just went on a rant that entire video.
Yeah, that's a W for Charlie right there, baby. Yeah, even though this podcast isn't about him, I think we should have a separate podcast episode for Yahoo. It's just right now we are going up on talking about the criminals and stuff that was going on.
How the justice system is failing America.
Yeah. So that pretty much settles everything that I wanted to talk about in terms of the justice system. All right, guys, that brings an end to our third episode of the Apathetic podcast. I know just then it ended kind of abruptly, and we weren't really planning on making it like this, but it ended up being a longer recording session than Micah and I thought, and we kind of talked about two separate things altogether, and we think that the next topic that we get to, that being sports and entertainment, is worthy enough for its own podcast episode. And I would just like to end this by just giving my respects mainly to the two victims that were murdered. Even though one of them happened all the way back in 2015, obviously it's once again been refreshed on the social media waves because of the perpetrator pretty much getting out early and possibly unjustly. So I would like to, on behalf of myself and Micah, we would like to say rest in peace to both Logan Federico and Logan Tipton. And then I would like to end on a Bible verse for you guys. So this is Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me.
You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you on the next podcast.